Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Gott erhalte Karl den Kaiser, unseren guten Kaiser Karl. Lange lebe Karl der Kaiser, in des Glückes hellstem Glanz. Ihm erblühen Lorbeerreise, wo geht zum Herrenkranz. Gott erhalte Karl den Kaiser, unseren guten Kaiser Karl. What am I doing? And why am I doing this? Well, here on my iPhone, I have the famous Kaiser hymn, which was written as a song to remember the Holy Roman Emperor. And the last of the Holy Roman Emperors, the last ruler of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was a man named Karl von Habsburg. Now, you may be thinking, why do we have a king that we have a picture in the church? I mean, I'm not Austrian, you're probably not Austrian, so why would we have this image, and why would we even have a piece of one of his bones in our church? That's really strange, isn't it? Well, here's why. So here's my wonderful flag of the Holy Roman Empire that we have in our church. But why would we have this when we aren't part of the Holy Roman Empire? Well, here's why. Karl von Habsburg is a saint. Actually, he's blessed, but maybe he'll be a saint soon enough. We're hoping for that. And Karl, from a very young age, was destined for greatness. He was an incredible man who loved his fatherland, he loved his country, he loved his church, he loved his God, and he loved his family. And at a very early age, he became one of the most powerful men in the entire world, the head of a kingdom which had numerous subjects of different languages and religions and political viewpoints, and he had to be a source of unity for all of them. But where on earth could any mortal man find strength for all of that? Well, he found it in his Catholic faith. Now, it's interesting because as a man, he knew that he had to be a man after the heart of Christ. But he also knew that his state in life, the way in which he was to be holy and work out his salvation, was through his work as the emperor and as a husband and father. Now, it's interesting because his wife, Zita, her cause for beatification is also up, which is kind of an interesting thing. So let's pray that Zita also may be beatified as well. But what's so interesting is that on the day that Karl and Zita got married, Karl looked at his beloved wife-to-be and said, "It is my job to get you into heaven." Here at Prince of Peace, we have many young men and women, and not so young men and women, who their vocation in life is to be married. That is the place of their sanctification, in the domestic church, in the family, in the home. And so, Karl von Habsburg is a great example of what it means to be a man, a husband, a father, and a leader. Now, you may not know this, but Karl von Habsburg also was the leader of the army. He was a very impressive military leader who knew his history and knew strategy. And when all of Europe was going up in flames with war, he was one of the few voices who called out for peace. He and Pope Benedict XV were constantly urging leaders to put aside their differences and through diplomacy, as well as strategy, to find a way to live together in peace and harmony as we are meant to live. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't listen to Karl at all. And so that's how we got World War I. And so he kept doing everything that he could to encourage peace in a time of difficulty and war. Now, of course, one of the sad things that happened as a result of World War I is that this amazing country, which lasted for centuries, called the Holy Roman Empire, was broken apart. And so he finally had to leave as the king. And this man, who was one of the most powerful and richest men in the entire world, all of a sudden found himself and his whole family homeless. They ended up living in Portugal, far away from their family and their loved ones and friends, and they had a very difficult life, but they always remained faithful to God. The reason that our friend in heaven, Karl von Habsburg, is with us in our church today is that he is a model of family life and trust even in difficult situations.